Q3 is still not ended. You will have to wait the results. As you know, the Q1 and Q2 were contradictory to each other. As far as IOC is concerned, we did extremely well in Q1. There were significant losses in terms of inventory losses in the Q2. Q3, we'll have to wait and see. But what we have been doing is, ensuring that our fundamentals of the business are right. That is the thing which is within our control, which means our refinery throughputs have to be good, our yields have to be good, our fuel and losses, our own fuel consumption will have to be reduced or optimized so that we can save on that. So we are doing all those things. I'm still quite optimistic that the year will end off well.
And finally, if I could ask you, sir, would this have a direct impact on the Capex plan, say for companies like you, or the Capex plan will be on track in spite of the challenging situation that you are facing on the balance sheet?
Certainly, our Capex plans are on track. And in fact, we are doing slightly better than what we have planned. And I think for the 12th five-year plan period, we had a target of 56,200 crore. I think by the close of this year, with 1 year to spare, we must be very close to that number. And there has been no pullback as far as Capex is concerned.
When it comes to the prices, what would be the profit margins like in terms of petrol, diesel? Is it something that it's consistent, or are you seeing that also getting fluctuated with the way Max is working out for companies like you?
No, as far as the margins per se are concerned, there is no great variation in margins. Of course, depending on the international prices of crude as well as the international prices of finished products, namely petrol and diesel, pricing mechanism is something which we have been consistent. And in terms of returns, there has been no excess returns or anything like that. And from time to time, we have to suffer some shocks as well. But overall, I would say that we are quite okay.
And finally, if I could ask you, so the oil minister has indeed come out with a futuristic plan of putting a new refinery in the state of Maharashtra on the western coast, asking all three PSU oil companies to come out with a roadmap. How do you see this panning out in terms of investments, or what would be the role that all three would be playing? It would be an equitable participation. How it's going to be?
No, as you saw today, the minister has, of course, announced in front of the media that yes, there is a refinery likely to be set up in off the coast of Maharashtra. No, this has been discussed for the past few months, and broadly we have an understanding as to what is the route or the plan with which we need to move forward. There is no denying the fact that energy requirements in the country are going to go up with economic development, and we have to make our plans accordingly. And the West Coast is the ideal place for setting up a refinery for obvious reasons. And so we are looking at these options very closely. But at this point of time, I can't, no detailed plans have been made as yet. So it's too early for us to share any further details.
And lastly, so on the margin aspect, how do you see it panning out in Q3 and Q4, the way things stand as of now?
It's a very difficult call to make at this point of time. As a head of IOC, I can only say that I'm optimistic that the year will end well.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.